Friday's Telegraph now as we move into the mid-range whimsy section of the show. Apparently the working class shouldn't be setting their ambitions too high.
You've pretty much summarised the story there,
yes.
Simon, to be honest with you. Catherine Birbalsingh, who is the chairman of the Social Mobility Commission,
yes,
who has caused...
And headmistress, of course, we should say, of the very famous school.
That's the thing. She has been given that sort of job of overseeing social mobility.
Yep.
And one of her initial speech is going to basically say, rein in your ambitions on social mobility.
Yeah.
Basically, she's saying that working class people should aim lower than Oxbridge. In other words, she's saying, don't judge me by getting people who are from unemployed families with no education to come out with first degrees from Oxford. It's not going to happen.
No, I think that's reasonable, but of course it's all about the messaging to some extent, isn't it, and judging the tone just right. I think I heard you saying, Simon, that you felt a little bit kind of grated by it.
I do. She has a kind of political Tourette's, really, isn't she? She's brilliant in some moments, and other moments she says something like this, and I just don't think it comes over right. I completely understand what she's trying to say, that actually, you know, that what's that phrase, the good is the enemy, the best is the enemy of the better.
The perfect is the enemy
of the good.
Yes, very
so
good.
To some extent, I get that.
That is exactly it, actually.
And I get what she's saying, and that's absolutely fine. Not everybody wants to be president or CEO. I get that. And it's stupid to tell all of us, I don't want to be CEO. But what I do feel is that there's a slightly patronising of, well done, you know, you got out of the puddle.
I wonder whether
and I don't think that's reasonable, really.
The one thing that I noticed, an immediate red flag for me, and this is something my father taught me to immediately distrust, was it is expected to say. This is a speech she's going to give.
Yes, she's going to give. She's
expected to say, and I just wonder whether, a little bit like when the new guy comes into the BBC and he's expected to lambaste political correctness or something, and then you actually see it and it's a tiny...
Yes.
It's just something... What I suspect she's actually doing is she's managing expectations across the group, across the class. She's saying of maybe 50,000 young men and women who have emerged from socio-economic disadvantage this year, you cannot legitimately all expect to get into Oxbridge. Let's not throw up our hands in horror if only a few do, but others get into the rust.
But that can also be an excuse for the fact that actually no one's moving. And there's a really good piece...
That's my problem with it. My problem with it is that she's redefining the parameters of what's considered a success in her role.
And the class is really, really significant.
Is she redefining them, or is she asserting a possible...
No, I think she's lowering the expectations because there's no real movement. There's a really interesting piece of work called The Class Ceiling by Sam Friedman
not
and
like the cotton ceiling.
Daniel Lewis. No, not like that. The Class Ceiling. And this is a project that's run out of the London School of Economics, and they wrote a book and series of papers. And one of the things that they show is that in the elite professions, so that's the top of civil service and lawyers and accountants and all that, if you come from a working class background, you will earn £6,200 less a year, no matter what level of achievement that you make. And there is an absolute penalty from coming from working class backgrounds.
That's not very large. That's not bad. You're probably earning 150 grand a year.
Yes, but the point is your peer, your exact peer, who comes from middle class, is earning £6.5 grand more. And
that feels all right to me. I mean,
Simon, no, that's not a joke. This is that you are being penalised.
No, seriously, Simon, I'm dead serious. If it's literally down to 6k difference, regardless of your background.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, it's not regardless of your background. If you're working class background, then it's 6k.
That's the degree of
but the point is that is true right the way across the elite professions. Not only do you earn less, you're less likely to achieve the highest grades. There is an absolute class penalty. People like me simply have an advantage in those professions, and it persists. Doesn't matter how clever you are.
I absolutely admire you for centering yourself as a member of the elite. Anyway,
people sound very middle class, but Simon, as you know, I'm upper.
You are upper.
Middle
Kingdom
class.
of Fife.
Thank you.
Stephen, do you want to check in one last thing on this before we go?
Yeah, I think the reality of it is that everybody should set higher parameters. I think she will be measured on the success in where she has those ringing endorsements of people who did go to those top levels, and I think she's made life harder for herself in the long run.
She does seem to be able to do that, but let's, as you say, judge her on results at the end of the day.